I think siyibambile. uThixo uthetha this time nabantwana bakhe abenzele izinto. I think that's what the head deacon is saying. uThixo uthetha nabantwana abenzele izinto. If you go through, which I want to plead with you, do go to the book of Deuteronomy 7 and begin to understand about uThixo uthetha nabantu atheni kubo. Because when it begins to say therefore, it means zikhona izinto abazaziyo ngaye. All right? Bayamazi bunyanisekile, bayamazi bu-faithful. Are you with me? But at the end of the day, he also begins to instruct them to know what kind of God he is. Are we together? Ngaphambili uthe uThixo, make no covenant with unbelievers. All right? Then he says something that is very painful. He says, show them no mercy. All right? Then he says something we don't like to talk about. He said, do not intermarry with them. Are you with me? And he tells you why you mustn't intermarry with them. He says, they will make your people to serve other gods. So, whoever you interact with, somehow, God says you must be very careful that he must not make you to begin to worship other gods or to serve other gods. Then he says something very drastic. He says, destroy their altars, break down their images, burn their images. And then he tells something that is very powerful. He says, remember, you are a holy people to God. God has chosen you, and you are a special people. And he goes on to say, God has set his love upon you. And because he's done that, he does it because he remembers the oath or the covenant that he has made with you. Then it says, God has redeemed you. And because of all these things, you must not doubt that God is true and God is faithful. And that's not siyibeka kakuhlena. And ndizamela ukuthi singamoshi more time. There's a lot that goes on in the lesson, but there's a portion that touches me most. He explains umbhali izinto ezifana nento yokuba, why are you the Israel you are? Why has God chosen you? He says all those things. But there's a portion that is very, very slight, where I want to tend to want to say, sisindiswa ngokholo. All right? And they want to begin to say that it is only by faith that we are saved. Are you with me? But unless in it, umthetho kaThixo ubalulekile. And that's not ndiyibeka kuhlene. Thina kwelibandla sinala verse ethi nalo unyamezelo lwabangcwele. Naba abayigcinayo imithetho kabani? Nokukholwa. So there is no point in us beginning to pick up one and leave the other. When you only pick up the law part, ubambelele kuyo only, chances are you will become legalistic. Are you with me? You have to have that part yomthetho, and then uphinde ube nalo nokholo kubani? KuChristu. You need them both. There has to be a balance on both. I don't know whether ndiyibeka kakuhlena. So abantu abaninzi uSathana ubenza into yokuba bacinga into bomthetho kaThixo ubalulekanga. Into ebalulekileyo ngokasesindiswa ngomthetho. And why ndiyithatha le ndawo ukwenzela into basingalibazisani ngale nto. Kukho abantu abacinga into yokuba sisindiswa nje ngokukholwa kuKristu. Akho need yoba masigcine imithetho kabani? kaThixo. Kube khona abantu amongst us abacinga into yokuba sisindiswa kuba sigcina imithetho. Khona abantu abacinga ngolo hlobo. If I appear as though ndigcina imithetho, therefore ndisindisiwe. Are you with me? And in lesson yethu ithi, which is a very powerful lesson, I think lo mbhalo uthetha ixesha elininzi kakhulu. Uthi uqala ube noKristu. Wakuba noKristu, i-righteousness in Christ in you ikwenza into yokuba ubehave kakuhle. You don't behave right in order to bribe God. Akusindisi. Yami ngolo hlobo. I'm going to say it in a much more funny manner. You don't pay your tithe in order to please God. Are we together? You can't bribe God. Uxolo nkokheli ukugqibela ngathi khona into obufuna ithetha phambi koba uhambe. Ayikho. Sekuxesha. Nivile class. Uyigcina imithetho kaThixo. Urimite itithe yakho. Unikele because unoKristu kuwe. Are you with me? You are driven by the fact that God is in you to behave right. Are you with me? This also says that when you do not behave right, you need to pray more. Are we together? Because chances are, umoya oyingcwele akakathethi nawe in a convincing manner. So awunalungelo lokuba uqhubekeke ungenzi right kuba usitha usindiswa ngemisebenzi. Kufuneka kuqala uKristu angene kuwe, awungena kuwe akubonakala iziqhamo ke ngoko zoba uKristu ungenile kuwe. I don't know whether ndiyibeka kakuhle. And that's then when you begin to behave right. Uthi umoya oyingcwele kufuneka sifane nengelosi ukuze